Diaz is not technical. They just be swinging.
Oh, they're technical, but in a Mexican technical way.
Okay.
But one, Diaz's striking coach is Howard Davis Jr.'s son. If you don't know who Howard Davis Jr. is, he's a gold medalist, and his son was also a medalist in the Olympics. Dope boxers out of American Top Team. But here's the deal, bro. It's one, he's southpaw. Two, his boxing is powerful, great defense. He'll take one to give one, but here's the deal with him, his style, at least on his stand-up. He'll throw everything in the kitchen sink in the first round just to study you. You know how most people, they'll throw light in the first round to study you? He's the opposite. He'll overwhelm you with pace in the first round to see what lands. And then he'll scale it back in the second round so he can be more technical in the second round.
Wow. I never noticed that. So it's kind of like reverse technique, right?
Exactly. So he'll bang with you in the first round to see what you bite. And then he'll scale it back. And that's how he got Max Holloway. Because Max Holloway is he's a volume puncher in the later rounds.
That's like going out to a lake and then you throw in like...
all your shit.
Well, it's like you throw in like all kinds of foods and bread and then you see what the fish is like and then you come back with a big bag of it, bro. Like
that's exactly what it is.
It's crazy.
So like you look at his last couple of fights where he's like against people that fight with him toe to toe. I don't think Khabib will fight with him toe to toe, but this is an interesting deal because this is going to be one of the keys to keeping the fight on the ground. Is his boxing? He's a forward pressure fighter, but he's also a counter pressure fighter. If you understand what I'm talking about,
right?
He'll throw it in the first round. He's going to throw everything in the kitchen sink at you. And then in the second, third, and fourth, and fifth, he's going to scale back and pick his punches. And he picks his punches beautifully. Look at the way he fought Gaethje. Look at the way he fought Max Holloway. Look at the way he fought everybody else.
Yeah, everybody in the moms.
Like all of a sudden he starts landing that right hook, straight right down the middle, kicks down low, and the biggest thing that he has going for him is when he's a black belt in jiu-jitsu. And I don't think Khabib has faced a black belt in jiu-jitsu yet.
No?
No.
Like a legit black belt?
Legit black belt. Tim Craters is
he has never faced anybody in the MMA that's a black belt.
In jiu-jitsu.
Connor's purple belt, right?
Connor is a brown belt. But Connor's like... It's just not the same.
Yeah.
It's just not the same. Tim Craters, the first black belt in Louisiana, gave him his black belt. And... he also trains with some of the best black belts in the world in American Top Team. But here's what people forget. Poirier's counter wrestling is probably some of the best. And it's not because he's the best counter wrestler. It's because he uses submissions as his counter wrestling. So guys will shoot in on him on doubles and single legs, and he'll start straight up choking them in the process. So he'll get...
he'll choke them like on a sprawl.
Yeah, as part of the sprawl, instead of, underhooking, right, he'll throw in a guillotine, let it be 10-finger, high elbow, and he'll start choking them, not to defend the takedown, but to get the hands away from the legs and addressing the hands. And on the break, he'll bam. So you see it fight after fight after fight. Best example and the best comparison is going to be the Eddie Alvarez fight versus Poirier. Eddie Alvarez, dope fighter, but he's a D1 wrestler, good boxer. Best comparison to Khabib as far as styles. Completely different fighters. It's not Khabib. Understand where I'm coming from.
Right.
In the third round of this championship fight, Eddie Alvarez attempted 3 takedowns. Okay. Only landed 1. And it was a shitty takedown off a scramble. But in every other takedown attempt, the defense to that takedown was 1 underhooking and choking. And it was beautifully done. It was just one of those things where Eddie Alvarez got deep on his legs, and instead of defending the legs, he spread his base out and started working for the choke and got deep enough where the choke became a threat, and you have to address, as a fighter, you have to address the choke. So that means you have to stop taking them down and defend the choke, which gives them an opportunity to scramble and punch. And Dustin is one of the best at that position.
But I think that the only way that he can be that good at doing that is because of his jiu-jitsu.
That is exactly why.
Wow.
That is exactly why. So the tail of this is the clinch work who's going to win the clinch work? Is it going to be Khabib or Dustin? And I think, at least according to Khabib's style in the clinch, he's the best at it. But I think that the jiu-jitsu that Dustin, at least the way he uses his jiu-jitsu, in that aspect of mixing jiu-jitsu and boxing is, I'm going to try to, I'm going to threaten the submission for you to stop doing what you're doing so I can get off my punches.
Right.
So I think that's going to be one of the keys to the fight. But here's the deal. If Khabib completes the takedown, that's where it gets hairy for anybody. And I think Dustin is an amazing jiu-jitsu guy, but it's different when you're getting punched in the face. And the way Khabib does ground and pound, he laces his legs. Bro. He'll straight up wrap both of his legs in a triangle.
He uses his whole body, bro, to throw them punches.
And he'll catch your hand from the backside, pin it against the cage, and he'll start. Watch the fight against Michael Chandler. Oh my God. Here's how you know it was scary. The crowd stopped chanting, and all you heard was, "It's my turn. Quick. Bah, bah, bah. Quick. Bah, bah, bah." It was scary. Scary. Against Conor. This was freaking beautiful, right? Khabib. His takedowns opened up his striking. And I'm not saying Khabib's striking is better than Dustin's. I think Dustin's is better. But I think his takedowns threat open up chances for Khabib to strike. For example, when he caught Conor with the big overhand, he faked the takedown. Conor reacted, caught him with a clean overhand. And it's moments like that that can change the fight towards Khabib.
So, by just listening to you, what I've come up with a prediction on this fight, this will end up on the ground.
Eventually.
And I think that Khabib will make one mistake that a black belt jiu-jitsu
can take advantage of.
And will probably hurt him, bro.
It would.
And,
but understand that Khabib is probably one of the best grapplers that the UFC has ever seen.
So
if not the best.
But like you said earlier, history repeats itself. I mean, jiu-jitsu has been proven time and time again, bro. It's the most effective in the MMA.
To me,
ground-wise.
This fight, it's going to be one in two areas. Is who wins the first major exchange in the boxing, right? Because we know Khabib wants to wrestle. But here's the deal. What happens when that first takedown, the third takedown, the fourth takedown don't happen and you're forced to box with Dustin, right? Yeah, you're going to take Dustin down. And Dustin's not going to break. Dustin is he's a true champion.
Yeah.
He's going to come back. He's going to fight. He's going to go all 5 rounds. You're going to have to put him to sleep or break his arm to lose to win the fight, right? And I think that Dustin's good enough on the ground to avoid any submissions by Khabib. But on top of that, I think he's good enough on the ground to counter and take advantage of Khabib's mistakes. Now, do I think Khabib will make the mistakes? I don't think so. It's because he's so disciplined. That's the thing. He's disciplined. He knows what he wants to do, and he sticks to the game plan.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's how it is. It's like, you know what he's going to do.
But what I don't like about the whole talk, which I'm kind of indifferent about, is that this makes Khabib sound literally invincible. Unbeatable.
He's undefeated for a reason. And it doesn't mean I don't think he's invincible. I think he hasn't... I think... This is what I'm going to say. I think Dustin Poirier has the knockout power in his hands to make Khabib think twice about going in on his legs.
I'm going to say something right now.
Go for it.
There's never been one person in MMA history, period, UFC, that has not lost a fight. That has not lost a fight.
Except for Khabib at this very moment. I mean, everybody... Look, everybody...
I feel the upset, bro. I feel it. You're giving me the confidence that it will be
I
upset.
feel the upset too, but I'm not being an honest analyst if I'm not saying that this is a very hard fight.
100%.
And I think...
You think for both?
Oh, yeah, this is going to be a dog fight, bro. To me, this is not going to be one of those, like, pretty fights where people are going to be like, it's going to be back and forth and bloody. But like for a guy like me that is a huge grappling head that loves technical fights, this is gonna be one of those dog fights where you're gonna be like you're gonna be at the edge of your seat, like even on the ground. Where even if round 1 and 2, I think here's how I think the fight's gonna go down. Round 1, 2, and part of 3 is gonna go to Khabib handedly. But coming out of round 3 and 4, you're gonna be like, oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. And you're going to be like, this is a fucking fight. Because I believe that the chances for Dustin to win is going to be 1 in the striking and 2 in the counter wrestling. And that's going to come late in the fight when Khabib is tired. When Khabib
doesn't get tired.
He's never been 5 rounds.
That's true.
He's never been a full 5 rounds.
That's very true.
Dustin has been 5 round after 5 round after 5 round after 5 round. He's proven that he can wrestle, strike, and go everywhere in the fight for 5 solid rounds after opponent after opponent and beat every opponent that's been put in front of him for 5 rounds. Now, he's lost before.
To who? I can't remember.
He's lost to Conor like 6 years ago.
Yeah, that's... Anyways.
And he lost to Chad Mendez like 7 years ago. Which, by the way, after those 2 losses, he's come back and went on streaks. Like... hardcore streaks. He went on like a 3-fight winning streak and then lost to Conor, went on a 7-fight winning streak, which is where he's at today. So you're telling me...
So he hasn't lost since he fought Conor?
Since he's fought Conor.
So basically he's undefeated. That's the way I look at it.
He's like 28 and like 4 at the most. And I think the first loss was like his very first professional loss.
Which is always good to get that out the way.
But even then, right? Like his record, you look at who he's fought... and the big names, he's had way tougher competition than Khabib. Way tougher.
Khabib's toughest competition was literally Conor's, as of now.
Conor McGregor and Al Iaquinta. And Al Iaquinta, I think, in a full training camp, could have beat Khabib. Straight up.
What do you mean full training camp?
Like, the Khabib versus Al Iaquinta fight was a last-minute replacement.
Oh, I got you. Like, if he actually...
If he actually trained for a full 5, I think that Al's wrestling could have... competed with Khabib's wrestling, and his boxing's way better. So I think Al could have won that fight.
How close was that fight?
A lot closer than people want to give it.
Yeah?
A lot closer. Yeah, I mean, it was a domination as far as like ground and pound and all that, but like when you think about all the times that Al Iaquinta got up and all the times he tagged Khabib and all the times he made Khabib scramble, it was like, oh, Al's a legit wrestler. He just wasn't ready for this fight. Like, give him...
He didn't know what kind of dog he was fighting.
Yeah. It was like Khabib, too. Khabib didn't know what kind of dog he was fighting because it was a last-minute replacement.
Right.
Like, let both of those guys rematch. I think that... His name is Rated, dude. He could be champion. But the only reason he's not champion is because, he's dropped one to, anybody. And that happens in MMA. You lose one to anybody. And bro, but this fight, bro, like, I can't really pick a winner, but I'll tell you this, bro. I feel the upset in the air. I could be totally wrong. And you know what?
Who cares?
Who cares?
Right?
But I feel the upset in the air. And here's the thing, bro.
I'm excited.
Like, I've never felt this kind of upset in the air. Maybe it could be, because to me, they haven't really pushed this fight. Like, the UFC hasn't really pushed this fight. It's like, okay, they just have to fight. So, Khabib can fight Conor or can fight Tony or whatever. But people forget, bro. They forget how good Dustin is. And Dustin is, like... You ever see, like, players, when they hit that different level? Like, they level up, and you're like, oh, he's boss level right now?
Oh, he's good.
Like, he's good. That's where Dustin is right now. He's boss level good. And it's like watching Goku get better. And it's straight up. Like, you see Goku, like, hit Ultra Instinct. You're like, Dustin hit Ultra Instinct right now. And I think, like... This is legit.
Damn.
This is to me. I could be 100% wrong and we could see fucking Dustin get murked in the first round. That could happen too. But honestly, it's going to be a 5-round war. I still think Khabib probably wins. But I wouldn't be surprised if Dustin pulls the upset, bro.
So let me ask you a question. What's next for the potential winner?
Depends who wins. Let's say Khabib wins. Mm-hmm. Tony. They have to do that fight.
They gotta. Oh my god.
They have to do that fight.
Oh my god.
Like, that fight has to be in
Dude,
Russia.
I didn't know that Tony had 2 rods in his leg.
Yeah.